What it is, guys, it's your Dino. We're back at again with another review, so let's just get straight into it. This one's for the brand new pixel remaster of Final Fantasy number 1. I've been given all 3 of these from Square Enix because I have a partnership with them, and the obvious developer is Square, the publisher is Square, the director is Hironobu Sakaguchi from the original, and this is the pixel remaster that's been done recently, which is actually getting review bombed at the moment and is getting a really hard time. I don't know why they're giving it a bad reviews and stuff. It's getting like 81% on Metacritic, but it's a great game. I mean, it's a classic. You can't go wrong with Final Fantasy 1. It is the first thing. It saved the company. It's an amazing game, and it's the start of an amazing franchise that has spanned years and years of games. So I don't see how you can go wrong with that. For those who have never played this game is available on Steam. It is a PC only game you can get because it's the remaster thing that they've done. They've now delineated between this version and the 3D versions. If you want to pick either of them up, you just type in the name of the one and type in 3D remake or just the normal name. That's pretty cool for those who didn't know that or didn't know that there was a difference in them. You can actually check that out. Cool thing about this game is it has a graphical system that you will see later that shows the difference between this, what you're seeing now, and its old original design with the scan lines. You can go for that classic look if you want to. This is an RPG game which is using random encounters to level you up. It is a really cool game. It has a very cool story. For this game, the story begins with the appearance of 4 youthful light warriors. They are the 4 characters you see there: the warrior, the thief, the mage, and the white mage. It's a black mage for those who don't know. It also is the same character model that eventually was the most iconic version of that, which is Vivi from Final Fantasy IX. So you are tasked with saving the princess originally, which is that kingdom's princess, and you have to stop a bad knight, and you have to go and purge evil from the universe, or from the world as you want to call it. And it's a really cool game. I don't want to go into too many spoilers for those who have never played this game. This game did originally come out in 1987, a year after I was born, which is pretty cool. It is stood the test of time, and it's an amazing game. It has been remade a couple of times over the years, given ports to different consoles and stuff, but this one is only available on Steam at the moment. I don't think that they will bring it over to consoles because I don't think that they see a want for it. And it's a really good game. You can't go wrong with it. It is an amazing game, and it does give you that old school vibes where the game really does push you and really does challenge you. It has a really cool system where you can equip the characters with different weapons and stuff like that. So you can, in theory, give the black mage 2 maces and so on and so forth, depending on what their character classes can wield, which is all old stuff that everyone from the original birth of the franchise knows about. But basically, you can give your characters swords, axes, spears, javelins, and so on and so forth. You can give them all these different weapons here, as you can see. Each one has ones that they can use, and so on and so forth. And if they do the little movement, it means that they can use them and they will benefit from them. And the cool thing is that it's very versatile in the way you can play, and they've done a very good job of it. This game did originally come out on the Nintendo Entertainment System, AES, the Famicom, the GBA as well. And the game was just amazing. Its composer was Nobuo Uematsu, and you just can't go wrong with it, in my opinion. It is a classic. It's a cornerstone of the franchise and of the RPG genre in general. And it's just, I remember playing this when it first came into my life, which was back when I was able to game, probably about 4 or 5 years old. And I remember playing it with like my family, and us sitting down, going through it, them helping me and stuff like that. But being able to go back now and play it with my kid and experience such a classic game with him is amazing. and we get to keep these things alive, which is great. This is something that needs to happen more and more often, in my opinion. We need to be able to keep games like this alive. We need to be able to keep old IPs alive and refresh them, even if it's in a like-for-like remaster up to modern day consoles as its old graphics. I think that's great, and it does keep these things alive, and it's very important that this happens. I feel that games like this, Shining Force, Vandal Hearts, Suikoden 1 through however many they've made now, should still be kept alive, and the IPs should still be available on newer consoles. I know a vast amount of gamers would go out and pick them up, and I'd love to know if you would, if for example, a old franchise that was made back when you was a kid or on the older consoles you'd love to see remade and brought up to the modern days. I'd also like to say thank you guys for all the subscribes lately. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for hitting that notification bell and hitting it to all and all that stuff. It really does help. We do go live on Twitch. There will be a link for that in the description. You will see an animation come along later on in the video, just reminding you. It's greatly appreciated, guys. I really do love you all. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for checking out the videos. It's something I love to do, and I love to share my passion with you about games like this, where you can see the time and dedication that went into works of art like this in a digital medium. And we need to keep things like this alive, because these games will disappear if we, the gamers, don't remind the developers and the publishers that we still love these kinds of games. So that's why using social media and atting the developers to keep these games alive is very key. And I'm always one for retro. I love my retro games. I could sit there and play games like this for hours and hours. I'm actually still playing this one. I'm actually about 45 hours into it already. It's just something I play. I'm grinding up my characters, leveling them up, wanting to be as strong as I can get them. And that's something that's lost nowadays in more modern games. That need to grind and play through and repeat stuff to get further on is lost. And I miss it. And I would love to see games like this make a comeback, or at least be kept alive by the developers. I'd love to hear your opinions on it as well, because I feel that games that were around back on the Mega Drive and the Master System and consoles going forward from that, like Soul Reaver and the Legacy of Kain franchise on the PlayStation and PlayStation 2, deserve the love that they got back then by the new generation of consoles and gamers, and would probably benefit from a fresh coat of paint and would revitalize those IPs for newer gamers. And it's such an untapped market for developers to get into, because it's something that's already been done. Yes, I know they have to talk to the people that own the IPs and stuff like that, but if they can do it, it's going to keep these games alive. And I feel like that is an important thing, especially as we go forward into an all digital medium, so that we can keep these games alive, because we're eventually going to come to a point where there ain't going to be disc-based medium, and we ain't going to be able to sit down and play a game and experience it in its entirety in the way it was supposed to be played, you know? And I want to keep that alive personally, but not only for me, but for my son and for you guys, you know? And that's a key thing I feel that we shouldn't scrimp on and we shouldn't overlook. And I feel that as a community as a whole, the industry, the gamer community, we need to be more vocal towards the devs to get games like this kept alive. And if you guys agree with me, sound off in the comments. If you don't agree with me, let me know. I love having conversations about this sort of thing. Sharing this video, liking the video, it always greatly helps, guys. I really just want to push that on and drill that home. Liking, sharing, commenting does help. Really does help the channel grow, and it really does help get messages like this out to the developers that games like this and the older IPs still have a place in modern gaming. And I feel like this is a big example of this. And the fact that this is getting review bombed by idiots on the internet that don't like the fact that they've made this game be kept alive in a modern era, is they're just missing the point of this. They're too narrowing in their field. But that's my opinion. That's my take on the whole situation. I feel that we as gamers need to be more vocal and united to get the developers to pay attention to games like this and give them the love they deserve, because if it weren't for games like this, we wouldn't have games like The Witcher and all the other amazing games that we have available to us now in the 9th gen and going forward, because games like Mass Effect wouldn't exist if it weren't for games like this that inspired a generation to want to make games. And I feel like this has its place even going forward in the future. So if you guys agree with me, sound off in the comments. If you guys disagree with me, let me know. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Social media stuff is all in the description. Thank you for watching, guys. If you do have an opinion on this, let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. You could catch me live on Twitch or on here on Tuesdays. I do go live on here. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and be well. Bye, guys.